Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm your host, Mrs. M. And if you haven't, make sure you click the link below. That way you can subscribe to my channel and not miss out on anything you need to scale your cleaning business to 6 figures and beyond. How? So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what I would do right now if I had to get a walkthrough appointment. So the first thing I would do right now is focus heavy on phone calls. There's so much room and opportunity for making a walkthrough appointment through a phone call. Now, what I would do that would help amplify that is I would make sure that I was doing the phone calls, and I'd also have someone like Fiverr or Upworks to do the phone calls as well. And Fiverr is FIVERR.com. And Upworks is UPWORK.com. These are the two things that I would use in addition to me making sure that I was on it as well when it came to making the phone calls that I needed. Now, my goal is to make sure that I give you as much information as I can to scale your cleaning business to well over 6 figures and beyond. Pow! And I give that to you through government contracting and commercial. So this could work more for commercial than it would for government, but I am going to give you a little bit in there for government as well. So what I would do right now is I would make sure that I set hours aside. That would be the first thing I did. Now, my hours that I set aside that really worked for me were Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'd normally start around 9 a.m. and I would go into around lunch, and then I would come back and get started again from around 1:30 to 3. I loved those hours because they weren't too early, and I was calling in my time zone, so mine is Eastern Standard Time Zone, and I would make sure that I had my mindset right. So what was the mindset that I had when I had to call? Because you get a lot of rejections. What I would do is I'd make it a game. So I would say after the first 50 phone calls, I'll treat myself to lunch, or I'll buy myself a small trinket, something that kept me motivated to get through the 50 phone calls. Now, the next thing I would do is I would then make it where my goal is to not get off here until I get a pause or a halfway yes or some kind of interest. And I may have to stay on there all day long. There were times I did 4 hours of phone calls straight. That was well before when I first got started, well before Fiverr. Now you can actually have people help you who you can give them an actual telephone script that works. Now, the telephone script number 2 that I would use would be something that was getting the name of the individual that makes the decision, not where you're trying to talk to them. That's too hard of a sell. Your goal is to get your information in front of them where they're interested in enough where they cannot wait for you to come in and do a walkthrough. Now, you can do that through a golden ticket. That's where you send them a letter or email introducing your company. So it's not so much of a hard cold sell. You give them your values, what your results are. What is it that you provide for this customer where they cannot do without your services? This is where you want to work on that differentiator. And that differentiator can go with government cleaning contracts as well as commercials. What are you doing to differentiate your business from all the rest? That is something you really want to work on. So having a telephone script that you give them, or a golden ticket where you do an email or introduction. You can use manta.com, which has a list of all the businesses. You just put it in. Now, what the third thing I would suggest you do is to talk about specializing. When I called, I didn't just say some random thing. I have my script, I used a time zone, and I talked about specializing in post-construction, specializing in daycare centers. But you want to specialize in something and not just be a general business cleaner. You cannot be everything to everyone, and that way it really leaves you out. What's the biggest reason? The biggest reason is because you're marketing to the wrong people. If I'm trying to sell ice and just say I'm in Alaska, whatever I say is really not going to work because they don't need my services. But if I think of a niche that really, really needs my services, whether it's healthcare, daycares, car dealerships. Think of something that is open right now that really, really, really needs your service, really needs you. And then think of something that you can provide that is going to stand out, that's going to be extraordinary, that's really going to make them want to contact you. Implement all of these on a consistent basis. And that's what I'm talking about. I always talk about Sunday should be motivation. Motivate yourself to stay 100% focused. Know that there's someone else out there beside you that made it work. And they might have been in the same situation as you're in. They didn't have any employees. It was just them. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any credit. Whatever it is, there's someone that's done what you're trying to do right now. So if you're focused and you're 100% dedicated, you absolutely can get to what? 6 figures and beyond. How? So I look forward to seeing you again. And one thing, I'd love for you to actually come to my free masterclass where I show you how to win government cleaning contracts without bidding, and where I also show you how to get commercial cleaning contracts where they can't wait for you to get started. I'm talking, they're like, where can you sign? That's how dynamic it's going to be when you get done doing your walkthrough, because you're going to be the expert and you're going to know exactly what you need to do. This is well over a multi-billion-dollar industry, so it makes no reason why, no excuse, no anything that you can't get a big part of the pie. So make sure you click the link. That way I can show you those 2 very important things: how to win government bids without any bidding, no bidding at all. And I'm going to show you what you need to do to meet the requirements, market to the government buyers, all of that. And then I'm going to also show you in my masterclass, and that's going to be what you need to do to make sure that you're able to get commercial cleaning contracts. Now, the one for the government is going to be this Wednesday, so make sure you register. The one for the commercial cleaning is on replay. So if you request it, you click the link, you will get the replay instantly for the commercial cleaning contracts. All I need is your email address. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure that you click the link to register, and I look forward to seeing you. Until next time, be safe and take care. Bye-bye.